will. It took us a while to get it, but we finally did get our first significant monsoon thunderstorm roll through the desert southwest. Actually, we did report just under a half an inch at the Yuma MCAS officially. Now, to get rainfall totals like this, you have to go all the way back to February 19th when we saw about 4,900. So it's been quite some time since we've seen any significant rainfall like this. We did report a nearly 40-mile-an-hour wind gust also at the Yuma MCAS. That temperature dropped nearly 30 degrees through about 4 to 6 p.m. this evening. We went from 102 all the way down to 74 degrees during that time. Here's some other rainfall totals across our area. Squaw Lake reporting nearly an inch of rain. Foothills nearly 3/4 of an inch. They came in at 6,800. Of course, Yuma, there's the Yuma MCAS reading. Mesa del Sol just under a 1/4 of an inch, and a weather station at 8th Street and Avenue C did report a 1/10 of an inch. So you can see a kind of a mixed bag all across the desert southwest, but I'll tell you what, some of these thunderstorm values of some radar estimates were up to about 2+ inches throughout rural portions of Yuma County. So here's where we sit right now in terms of our monsoon rainfall total from about June through now. We have received about 0.64 of an inch so far this year. Through September, we should be at an inch and a little bit over 1.25 inches. So we're making our way there, and believe it or not, we do actually have another chance of thunderstorms in your forecast. We'll have a look at that coming up in just a bit, Jenny. Awesome, but let's kind of bring it back here, show you what's going to happen on the west coast over the next couple of days. Mainly, we're just going to be dealing with that ridge of high pressure. That's going to be the dominant feature pretty much all the way through the middle of your work. Good afternoon, everybody. We interrupt regularly scheduled programming to bring you a significant weather advisory issued by the National Weather Service for some strong thunderstorms that have formed just south of the border. Pacific Animal Production tent here with Carla. We're escaping the heat from out there. It's very nice and cool in this building. She's here with a little furry friend. Tell us a little bit about this guy. La Nina is here, and it's only expected to strengthen as we go on into your winter months. Now, basically all that means is that we have cooler water in the tropics of the Pacific, and that has a big effect on the global weather patterns. Now, normally during an El Nino winter, that jet stream and storm track is right on top of the southern tier of the United States. We're already reporting about 3 to 4 inches of rain over the past 24 hours. That's expected to continue over the next couple of days. But actually, thanks to the remnants of Lee, we do have more of a southerly flow. So, but first, that monsoon season is wrapping up officially tomorrow. It goes until September 30th. And so far this year, it's been a dry one, only 0.76 of an inch of rain reported from June 15th through today. So that's about 0.53 of an inch below average. But I'll tell you what, we are holding on to a chance of thunderstorms going right on into your weekend starting Friday. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Meteorologist John Patrick here in the Skywarn Weather Lab. Haven't quite hit that triple-digit mark in the Yuma area. We've topped out at 99 degrees so far, but we could definitely still hit it. Still kind of sitting in the heat of the day, but pretty much hovering right around it anyways. Really couldn't feel the difference if you hit it or not. 99 throughout the Imperial Valley, 98 in Yuma, sitting at 100 degrees currently in the Dateland area. We've basically just been dealing with pretty much blue skies all across the entire area. So you would know it by looking out your window, but we actually do have some thunderstorms firing up just off towards our east, mainly in Pima County. Down south towards Tucson actually have slowly been working their way off towards the north, nearing that Casa Grande area right now, pretty much right along the I-10 and I-8 corridors. So just be cautious if you are heading out on those roadways off towards the east. You could definitely run into some strong winds, blowing dust, and some localized heavy rains. Those thunderstorms are expected to continue over the next couple hours or so. But other than that, still pretty much dealing with above average temperatures across the board. 101 in Palm Springs, 100 for Lake Havasu City, 100 in Phoenix right now. But take a look at it. Tucson, thanks to those rain showers down there, down to 78 degrees. Only reporting a trace of rain throughout Tucson so far. Now, those thunderstorms are firing up because we do have plenty of moisture off towards southeastern Arizona, and actually a little low pressure disturbance in portions of northern Mexico, adding to that uplift and getting those thunderstorms firing off. I'll tell you what, though, we actually are going to start to see our own chance of thunderstorms thanks to this guy right here. Hurricane Hilary off into the Pacific right now. It's already showing signs of weakening as it slowly makes its turn off towards the north. Now, yesterday when I showed you this, it had a pretty evident eye, but now it's kind of fading off. Down to a Category 2 today with 110-mile-an-hour winds right now. Now, it was already up to a Category 4 as of yesterday. So as it makes its way off towards the north into cooler water, really is going to start to dissipate as we go on into the last half of your work week. Right on into your weekend, already down to a tropical depression with 30-mile-an-hour winds. So it's not like we're going to be having a tropical storm rolling through the desert southwest, but it does look like we are going to start to see some of that spin-off moisture make its way up the Baja Peninsula and into our area by this weekend for an increased chance of thunderstorms. But until then, still dealing with this ridge of high pressure slowly starting to establish itself over the west coast, and trust me, it's going to do that over the next couple of days. We're definitely going to be feeling those above the average temperatures going on into your Thursday and Friday, but you are starting to see this thing kind of work off towards the east as we go into the last half of your work week. And as it does that, it's going to allow for some of that moisture to make its way in here. We actually have a couple of low pressure disturbances that we're going to be watching going on into Friday and Saturday, but it does look like we're definitely going to add that chance of thunderstorms in here for your weekend. Now tonight, 65 to 75 degrees, clear skies, and 67 in El Centro, 73 for Yuma tonight, 69 for Blythe, the new moon out there, and tomorrow dealing with plenty of sunshine again and those above average temperatures. Those light and variable winds. Here's a closer look at it. 102 in El Centro, 103 for Yuma, 104 for Somerton, and 103 in the Welton area. Here's our next 7 days. Temperatures slowly creeping up there, topping out by Friday, 104 degrees. Here comes radar rolling in there, and there it goes. Your chance of thunderstorms Friday through Sunday. Good news is those temperatures are going to start to come down. That was a failed attempt to show radar if I ever saw one. Here's a look at Yuma's 7-day forecast. 104 by Thursday and Friday, down to 98 on Saturday. Of course, that's thanks to those thunderstorms rolling in here. And of course, if we do get those in here, you can definitely see those localized heavy rains, strong winds, and blowing dust. So hopefully we get those thunderstorms rolling off here. Keep Joey Norton busy coming on into this weekend. Take it away, Mo.
Strong winds, lightning, and heavy rain caused severe thunderstorm damage throughout Yuma County this afternoon. Here's what some KSWT News 13 viewers caught during the storm and sent in. Travis Mitchell snapped this shot of a chapel off of Highway 95 near Gila River. It was reported to have blown about 60 feet from its foundation. And take a look at all the standing water from the heavy rains. Radar estimates report up to 2+ inches throughout portions of Yuma County. While a parked box truck in the area was tipped on its side from strong winds reaching an estimate of 60+ miles an hour. Luckily, there were no reports of any injuries. In the area of 28th Street and Virginia Drive, water was standing as drivers attempted to get to their destinations. Near Kofa High School and Avenue A, water flowed across the street, even stalling one driver out. Of course, you never want to cross flooded roadways like these drivers did. The best thing to do is turn around and find another route. At 11th Avenue and Avenue A, Dom De Torres caught this splash as a car drove by. And in the foothills area, Bev Roboto taped flooding of the Fortuna Wash at 44th Street. The worst of the storm only lasted a little bit more than an hour, but left behind several reports of storm damage. For KSWT News 13, I'm meteorologist John Patrick.
Good evening, everybody. I'm meteorologist John Patrick here in the Skywarn Weather Lab, continuing to track the thunderstorm activity across the desert southwest. Our severe thunderstorm warnings for the area have been lifted, thankfully, but let's go ahead and take a look at the loop of the radar, show you the storms that actually rolled through here. This cell right here was the one that we were watching. That was by far the most severe. It was capable of producing a lot of large hail, especially when it was down in Mexico. Now, let's put it into motion. You can see it actually make its way up through Calexico and into the Holtville area, actually through about the 2 to 3 o'clock hour. It did start to lose its intensity as it made its way across the U.S.-Mexico border, but there were some hail reports up to about a ½ inch in the Holtville area. There were also some wind damage reported with that thunderstorm as well, blowing some power lines over, even knocking the roof off of one of the buildings in the Calexico area. As we advance off into the 3 o'clock hour, though, you see it kind of fizzle out as it's made its way into portions of northern Imperial County. Right now, though, there are still some thunderstorm cells off towards our south, continuing to make their way off towards the north. Take a look at them right there. There's one of the ones that we're watching that could make its way into the Imperial Valley if they do hold up. So we are definitely still holding on to a chance of thunderstorms going on into your evening as these thunderstorm cells continue to pop up off towards our south, mainly from the tip of the Gulf of California. Pretty much where they're originating. So definitely keep it tuned here. We'll keep you updated on all of the thunderstorm coverage throughout your evening. Across the region, dealing with a lot of thunderstorm activity off towards our north and Lake Havasu, Parker Strip area. Also some strong thunderstorms right along that I-8 corridor between Gila Bend and Casa Grande. Actually had some severe thunderstorm warnings associated with those storms as well. Those have since been lifted, but definitely a potentially dangerous situation if you have to head out on those roadways. Keep it safe. Don't cross any of those flooded roadways. We're actually still under a flash flood watch here in the desert southwest until 9 p.m. could be seeing some pooling on the roadways, and also those streams filling up, and flash flooding potential is definitely there. But let's take a look at our current conditions right now. Take a look at 24-hour temperature change. Pretty impressive from this time yesterday. 27 degrees cooler in Yuma, 23 degrees cooler right now in Imperial, and that puts us basically in the mid to upper 70s. Thunderstorms definitely making it a very nice day out there right now if you like this type of weather. I know I do. Winds down to about 10 to 20 across the area. Right now, let's zoom out here, show you exactly what's going on here. Plenty of moisture and instability in the desert southwest, and as we put your satellite and radar into motion, or your water vapor imagery into motion, I should say, you're going to start to see this low pressure system swirling right into the California coast, and that's actually initiating a lot of this thunderstorm activity. By tomorrow, it is expected to be off towards our east, so we're expecting to clear out here, have mostly sunny skies throughout the day for your Wednesday and Thursday. Really, here's a look at your precision cast over the next couple of days. Continues that thunderstorm activity into Wednesday for much of eastern Arizona, off towards portions of our north. Chances of thunderstorms getting awfully close to us. We could see a stray thunderstorm or two in the Yuma County area, but we'll give it a slight chance at best. Here's what it looks like. 97 tomorrow for that afternoon high in Imperial Valley, so thunderstorms definitely keeping us cool throughout the middle of your work week. Looking pretty similar in Yuma, 99 degrees, daytime highs we haven't seen for quite some time. These below average temperatures are going to continue into your weekend, calling it 102 by Saturday and Sunday, and take a look at those overnight lows falling down into the low 70s. Definitely going to be a good weekend to get out there and enjoy some of these early morning hour temperatures. Yuma looking pretty similar here. A pair of 102s for Friday and Saturday. Overnight lows dropping down into the mid 70s. Mo, take it away. Welcome back, everybody. It's Sports Time. I'm John Patrick. It's Sunday, so you know we're talking football. Another crazy NFL day. A lot of games coming down to the very last play. We're going to start this one off right here. Cardinals visiting the Seahawks, and this is Kevin Cobb in the first quarter. His pass intended for Andre Roberts intercepted by Earl Thomas, but watch this block at the end of the play right there. Todd Heap just getting drilled by Cam Chancellor. You're going to have another look at it. He'd be a bit shaken up, but you know what? He'd return to the game. There's a look at it in the bottom of your screen right there, the right side, just leveling Todd Heap. Cobb went 252 yards today. He only had one touchdown, but gave up 2 interceptions. And actually, here's that touchdown right here. Kevin Cobb feeling the pressure, but finds Larry Fitzgerald in the end zone with an acrobatic catch. Fitzgerald doing what he does best, 64 yards on the day on 5 receptions. He had just that one touchdown. But in the third quarter, Tavares Jackson has all kinds of time right here, and eventually he's going to take off for the end zone. This great day for Tavares Jackson was full of boos, and they're calling for his backup. But the fans definitely like this one as he gets collided for right there going on into the end zone. Jackson, that was his only touchdown on the day, but that would be a good one. 13-10 Seattle. Fourth quarter right here, Jay Feely has a chance to tie it up, and he's going to miss this 49-yarder. He missed 2 field goals on the day, and that's all the difference they would need. Cards fall to 1 and 2 as this one ends. 13-10. Seahawks climbing to 1 and 2, but next on the docket for the Cardinals is going to be the New York Giants. All right, moving on now. Chiefs and Chargers right here. This is Ryan Matthews putting the Chargers up early in the second. His 2-yard touchdown run. 7-0 Chargers, fans liking it. And guess what? Matt Castle decides to show up today for the first time all year. This one right here is a 4-yard touchdown pass to Dwayne Bowe, making it look easy. This one actually was called incomplete at first, but you know what? That's why we have the instant replay. Matthews coming back here in the third quarter. Matthews doing a good job on the ground today. He had 149 all-purpose yards. He had 2 touchdowns on the day for the San Diego Chargers. Rivers, on the other hand, was struggling. He had 266 yards, 0 touchdowns on the day, and he gave up 2 interceptions. That's 6 interceptions on the year for Phillip Rivers. At this point, the Chargers up right here, but Matt Castle is going to change that. He's going to pull them within 3, 20-17 Chargers, but you know what? The very last play, Eric Wells is going to intercept Matt Castle. The Bolts are going to go on to win this one 20-17. Chargers are going to host Miami next week. I'll tell you what, here's what Coach Norv Turner had to say right after the game. Welcome back, everybody. It's Sports Time. I'm John Patrick. Going into the last night of the MLB regular season, still so many scenarios could happen, but last night, Diamondbacks in a great game against the Dodgers, the second to last game of the season. We're going to pick it up right here in the 10th, so you know it's a good game. We're skipping all the early highlights, getting straight to the good stuff. Top of the 10th, LA, Matt Kemp's going to have a single to center off of Micah Owens. Jerry Sand's going to come around to score. I was going to put the Dodgers up 3-1 in extra innings, so it wasn't looking good for the Diamondbacks, and the top of the 10th just kind of falling apart, letting the Dodgers just run all over them. They're going to continue to do so. Right here, A.J. Ellis is going to have a base clearing triple to right field. That one also off of Micah Owens. Justin Upton getting hit in the head on the play. It bounces off the fence and gets him on the head. Nonetheless, a bunch of runs are going to come around to score. James Loney, Aaron Miles. That makes it 6-1 Dodgers. I believe we're going to see this one again right here. There's Upton. He actually got hit in the head the game before this by Tim Lincecum, a fastball, yeah, right in the head. And there it is again, getting hit in the same exact spot. He's going to be all right. He's just coming out of there for some precautionary reasons, of course, because we are going into the playoffs. But guess what? This thing not done yet. We're going to go into the bottom of the 10th right here. Ryan Roberts with the bases juiced. He's going to have his 19th homer of the year. The Tap Man getting it done. Walk-off grand slam off of Javi Guerra. That's going to score Chris Young, John McDonald, Aaron Hill. Great job and congrats to him because he's been in a bit of a slump lately. You're going to see him do the Kurt Gibson fist pump as he rounds first base right there. Diamondbacks win. Great game last night, 7-6. But, of course, we are going on into the playoffs the next couple of days still. So many things can happen. Here's a little bit of a breakdown of the Diamondback scenario. If you're not confused after this one, you'll never be confused. The Milwaukee Brewers are a game ahead of the Diamondbacks. If the Brewers beat the Pittsburgh Pirates, this will force Arizona to go on the road in the first round of the NLDS. They would have to look out for whoever won the wild card. The Cardinals winning would force Arizona to go to Milwaukee, which is what we want, because the Diamondbacks are good against Milwaukee. The Braves winning would force Arizona to start off against Philly. We don't want that, Jenny. If the Brewers lose and the Diamondbacks win, then the D-backs will be at home because they own the tiebreaker between the two. They would then clinch the 2 seed and avoid playing the Phillies, but that would mean the Brewers would end up playing the Phillies, and the Braves or Cardinals would play the Diamondbacks, since the two teams from the same division can't play in the NLDS. Nonetheless, did you get that? No? That's all right.
Not so much.
We'll figure it out within the next couple of days. Playoffs start on Friday.
All right, just looking forward to that. Keep it here.